Welcome back to the demo. So this is basically the entire demo. I almost finished it. We just have the last parts of the demo. You can only research until a certain point, and this is kind of like the max you can do. Also, if you reload the game, all of your characters have their max stats on, so I guess you never need food. Also, the game kind of makes you get a lot of food, and then when it spoils, it creates these huge piles of waste. Yeah, that's not fun. Because it also blocks the amount of space you have left for building. Okay, so you build an expedition station. You have your shark chow over here, which is your raft, which you use to explore your sector. This is our sector. And then you have the scout canoe, which is used to scout other sectors of the map. Well, I think we can scout this one. Well, it will be read in the scout canoe one. Provisions, well, we need food, okay. About water, we need water. Oh, really? Is the water really necessary? Oh, that reduces your water. Then just give him sticks and he'll say it's fine. Yeah, the reeds will give you hunger and thirst, so that's a bit of an exploit, so that's why you have to collect all of them. And we have researched the basic toilet. There's also a bit of a catch over here, because you might think, well, where are all of my coconuts? I don't have any coconuts left. But no, you actually have a lot of coconuts. You just have to eat them. And after you eat them, you get the coconut shell. It's a bit of a weird thing. The more you question it, the weirder it becomes. So we have that. Ooh, that's going to be hard. I like the concept of the game. At some point, you'll really conquer that. You really have to struggle with Survivor, because once your nearby resources are depleted, that's kind of it. You don't get any more. I searched the entire map, and since there's not a lot of things over here, especially when it comes to other resources. I guess you can get a lot of wood by simply harvesting the water and harvesting the salvage that is on the water. What? Okay, looks like I have another survivor over there. You with the mohawk, go and help him. And this will just give you wood and some other stuff, so I don't know. I guess you also have to be careful how you make your characters, because this guy doesn't need to be a tree puncher. This guy needs to be a calm, hardworking. Well, he is already hardworking, but the tree puncher. A calm, hardworking, and I think smart person. Survived crafting like 2009. Yeah. I guess that's when the punch a tree to get wood became the norm. Okay. At some point you run out of building space if you're not careful. Oh, that's the perfect edge over there. The sharks will... Those are clouds, by the way. Don't worry, they're not krakens. The sharks will only attack in this particular pattern. So if you can avoid them... Then invite to the promise of a brilliant banter. Oh, wow. You actually need to work a lot to recruit other people. I kind of like this. I thought it would be super easy to recruit people, but no. 20 berries, 5 grilled fish. In case you're wondering how you get the berries, it's either from the baskets or from the floating little islands that will have a berry bush on them. Which, as you can imagine, they don't appear very often. I guess I should have filled this solar still with water. I completely forgot. Yes, it's empty. can drink from the puddle. I think it still counts as water, but it's dirty. During the night, the crabs will create more sand piles, which you can use a shovel to clear out. Hmm. Cool little creatures in the water. I can imagine how this game will become much more expensive over time. Let's use the paddle, but yeah, I have a problem with this system. Food spoils very fast, so you cannot get food. Yeah, for that will eaten in big quantities. Full shark bitten. I should really make some bandages. No. And everything you want to take out, you have to take out of a box. But everything goes in your inventory automatically. But if you have to take something out, you need a box. You also need gloves for these things. Hmm. Moon gel. Sounds delicious. Okay. One. Nothing. So you have to make your own bandages. What a life. It's even called a soggy bandage. I guess we can keep on researching. Sending torch, I think I understand what it does. The paddle. I think that appeared automatically on the thingy, on the boat. You have to research also the survival for the building upgrades, but most of them are disabled in the demo anyway. So these over here, production 1, 2, 3, 4, will just unlock building upgrades for your existing stuff. Draw box. Gull perch. What? Oh, I see. That's kind of like a funny thing with a tower. You can train the seagulls to help you survive. There's nothing we can do about the night and day cycle, but I kind of like it. So our main goal is to figure out where the missing piece is, so we can open it, but also the keypad over there. Well, the way I understand this is the water from the bigger things is rising to the palm leaves and condensing on the palm leaves, and then they're dropping back into the bucket. It's the solar still. A cool concept, I like it. Would it work in a real survival situation? Probably. Probably yes, if you had the time and resources to build all of that. I kind of like the slow pace of the game, so you have to micromanage the game a lot, otherwise they'll do silly stuff. And besides, yeah, in the beginning you just have to manage them super carefully because of the sharp wounds and some of the other stuff they can get. That's a lot of bandages. He's rubbing the bandage on his hand. Ugly island? Wow. Assured. Ugly island. Well, it is a bit ugly, but the crabs make it more interesting. Have the lookout tower done. Yeah, I guess I can work on the lookout tower. Now, my only concern is that the game will begin to feel very stale after a while. I mean, after you deplete the resources in your immediate area, there's nothing left for you to do except to go out on other sectors. But that's even worse, because you need a lot of resources to even start doing that. So I'm curious how the developers will handle this in the full release. I understand there's a bigger scope to the game, but at the same time, how do you make the game less boring? And this doesn't seem like it's faster than the normal swimming. Huh. On the other hand, your little characters can also get some weird status effects. And I forgot what status effect he got, but something like he was swimming a lot of time for a very long time, and he got something like -2 health per hour, a big debuff. When you roll the game, it uses the speed minimum. This is also better in a way. I think you can also make a dock and make the raft bigger. And kind of make it like a mobile base at some point. Yeah, but this is all about the upgrades. This is not really a game where you just build something and that's that. No, I think it's more about the upgrades, the resources, the availability of resources. Survival elements are very cool. Also, as you can see, the sharks move out of the area. A raft for a destination. Let's take an expedition mark. Oh, okay. And this will be the big part of the game as well. Craft building, yeah. We'll try and build a small dock. We'll try and research the small dock and then we'll go into the expedition. I guess this is a little faster. Yeah, but the only thing I don't like really is the food spoilage. It seems like the food spoils super fast to the point where it's not even worth picking it up unless you really, really need it. Even so, it's a bit suspicious because if your island can fill up with waste like that to the point where you get a lot of debuffs and you don't have enough space to build, well, I guess it's a challenge. Oh wow, okay. It also gives me the impression that we need a lot more solar stills. And these ones are quite resource intensive, especially because they need that coconut. So you can use a boost to research. I'm not sure how it works, but we'll use it. I'm not sure how much faster is that. Someone's lost snacks. Okay, we have researched a small dock. Okay, we need 2 big rocks, two cogwheels, 4. Oh, wow. Can we even do that? That's a lot. Huh. So I guess you need a crafter, a scavenger, a researcher, and I guess that's about it. I think that canoe does wait a little bit. So over here we have some people who can rescue. At least you can rescue people very easy. I don't like the resources though. Now we choose a raft with reed. And we need provision as well. Yeah, this is the only system I don't really like and I don't really agree with. Oh, you can just give them a piece of fish and that will be enough. What about the water? I'm not sure how you collect the water and give them the water. I mostly use the reeds at the expedition. Okay. Oh no, he's all alone. What will he do? Also, in the beginning, you don't have enough flint to make a stone pickaxe, which means you cannot harvest the stone or the flint from this part of the island. But I guess flint is different from stone. I found some rocks on a floating island over here. So yeah, after your initial debris is done, you will have floating islands that spawn periodically. But you do have to watch them. I'm not sure how you are supposed to notice them. I guess by simply looking at them to the map. This is an advanced construction. Oh, I need the upgrade. I guess we can try. Fog nets. Real stone, okay. And at some point it says you need an upgrade for the workbench to continue working. Which is a bit of a disappointment. Okay, I guess we need more rope, but we're almost out. Yeah, we're all out of the fibers. So to collect the fibers, you will collect also the reeds, which will spoil, which will fill your island with silly stuff. And not a great look. Save the game. Go to the main menu. Yeah, I think I like the game a lot. I'll definitely play at the release, but it seems like it's a bit of a boring mechanic because you have to switch between islands and there's not a lot of stuff to do in the beginning. I think I wasted about 2 hours just looking at my characters collecting stuff I didn't need. Also, I'll have backpacks, hats, clothes, and some other cool stuff. Which is kind of nice. So I guess the management will be kind of like Stranded Alien Dawn, where you have to babysit your characters a lot, almost entirely relying on manual orders. For better or for worse, I actually liked Stranded Alien Dawn a lot because I had a lot of control over what everyone was doing. I mean, yeah, you might prefer Rimworld where everyone does their own things or oxygen not included. But I like this more hands-on approach as well. I cannot trust them to do anything anyway. Let's see how the expedition is. So yeah, this is kind of like the full gameplay loop. Survival, crafting, gathering resources, exploring other islands, and then finally scouting and going to other places. But how do I make water? How do I make carryable water? There might be something somewhere. I guess I also need a crate. Oh, is it something in the tools? I don't think so. We'll have to look at that later. So this... go use the toilet. Also, I will have to repair everything and do some other stuff. Actually, just says ah. See? So day 8 out of 1 hour. I'm not sure how do you calculate that. I guess it's just day 8, hour 1 or something like that. 11 degrees. I doubt we'll have a snowstorm in the middle of the ocean over here, but you never know. Also have to collect that for the plant fiber. By the way, the crab pits don't appear every day if you don't clean them out. So I guess you need a dedicated character to do this. I guess you have a limited number of upgrades before the research table. Oh, okay. We'll stop researching. that. It looks interesting. Oh, this is where I get the blueprints. Floater. How do you prevent it from sinking? Resurface or just keeping it from becoming future real estate? Okay. Island pore disk. Buoyancy harmonics. Yeah, it sounds like it's made up. Okay, view home. That's very fast to switch. Yeah, I think a lot of people will not enjoy this. I think the developers can find a better way to do this. Get back on the raft. And I don't mind. I think I'll enjoy this mode as well, but as you can imagine, you'll need a lot of time to make a character have the appropriate tools to send on expeditions, have a bigger raft, have some crates on the raft as well, maybe. I guess that works. But it's kind of a peaceful game. Have two of those, yeah. Let's see if we can get the dock working and then I'll end the video. That's probably everything there is to do in the game anyway. Oh, but the idea of just finding technology like this is very exciting. Well, not that exciting. It's just interesting because we can solve a lot of issues by just going and exploring. So I guess at some point you'll need to find the blueprints to unlock whatever you like. Oh, that's an island. Filled with reeds, which is very boring. Steady-ish island. No, it's actually, it does have a lot more resources, so that's stone, I believe. Yeah, I don't like the UI. Waste, I don't have any waste storage. You have to have waste storage. So you have flint and stone. Got the message in a bottle. Oh, I know what that is. I'm not saying anything so I don't forget the combination. Okay, I didn't forget it. Oh, wow. Colony Island. The Fabulous discovery an island right in the home sectors. More islands are found on expeditions, but they won't be this easy. You need a raft equipment with hauling gear to... Okay. Now I understand. So the actual gameplay loop is to bring the islands home. Colony manager choosing the best islands. So you have islands with different biomes, like this one has grass, okay. This is such a wonderful game now that I see this mechanic. So that's the strange component. Look at that, it even has tiny balloons and pistons keeping it afloat. And that's all of the berries we will need. such a cool mechanic. I think this will be the video thumbnail. Everwood. Oh, you can probably build floaters. That's what those are. So, okay, I think we can make our island be bigger. I take that back. The game is a lot more impressive than I originally thought. How do we make it go up again? That's intriguing because that means you need to be super careful about your island, otherwise they'll sink before you get the chance to get the resources. We found a strange thingy. Insert it. Island bunker Fort 1. Oh, this reminds me of Fallout Shelter. Copper ore and a coconut. Use terminal. Yeah, suddenly this game became a Fallout Shelter. Yeah. Okay, so if you're going to play the demo, you're not going to understand much. But if you have this as well... What is that? A flint pickaxe, exactly what I needed. So we need keycards to go further into the bunker. Okay, that's the end of the demo. It's actually pretty amazing if you do all of this. So it's a very complex game. I'm not sure how the survival element should play in, but I hope the developers can balance everything this out to make it maybe just as good as Rimworld in a way. Maybe just as... I don't know, I think it can have its own identity. It doesn't have to be Don't Starve or Rimworld. It can do its own thing, and I personally love the idea of being able to build your perfect island archipelago. But I guess it also depends what the end game goal is. It has to be something more than survival. And probably we'll start with small rafts and then we'll have metal boats or something like that. Kind of a crazy game. It starts so slow and weird, and then you go from coconut shovels to underground bunkers and floating islands in basically 5 minutes. It's great. Definitely try the demo and also wishlist it. Bye bye.